So in chapter 2, we conducted the first step of policy analysis, which is identifying what societal problem we wanted to solve. Now we have to go to the next step. In chapter 3, we go to step 2, where we develop what I call our what actions, if any, question. And what we're trying to do there is develop a very specific question that is the focus of our analysis. And I find with most of the scientists, engineers, and health professionals that I work with, this is probably the very hardest step in the process, because you really have to focus in a way that you're producing a neutral policy question. You're not at the stage picking a particular policy option. You want to make sure you avoid bias. It's really a research question where you want to try to make it as neutral as you possibly can. So the what actions, if any, question has a formula to it. So it says, what actions, if any, should the policymaker take to respond to the societal challenge in a particular geographic region? And each word in that sentence is very important. So we want to say what actions, if any, because we want the question to not presume that any policy option is better than another. And we also want to presume that taking policy actions is the action to take. There's something called the status quo. That's the current action. With the status quo, the current policy, most people are satisfied with it. And it's very hard for policymakers to say, we're going to go beyond the status quo. We're going to make a change. So we're going to start with that first part. What actions, if any, should the policymaker take? So here we really want to identify a specific policymaker, because each policymaker is different relative to what concerns they have and what jurisdiction they have. So for example, you couldn't have the governor of the state of Pennsylvania making decisions about what should occur in the state of Ohio. That's outside the jurisdiction, and that's not the population that the Pennsylvania governor serves. So this is true for any kind of policy. There's jurisdictions in terms of geographic location, in terms of what topics that they're allowed. And in the United States, there can be big differences between what actions are allowed at the national level, the state level, and the local level. And so you really want to focus on the policymaker who has the jurisdiction for whatever policy topic is of interest to you, whatever that societal challenge is. So the next part is the what actions, if any, question, is that we're responding to concerns about a particular societal problem. So this is important because we should not assume that there is a societal problem. We might think that there's one. People might be complaining about something, but sometimes people are wrong. Sometimes it's not as bad as people think it is, or sometimes it goes the opposite way. It's even worse than what people think it is. So you're responding to concerns about a societal problem. You're not presuming the societal problem exists until you collect the data that determines if there's a problem, and if so, what is the extent of that problem. So the last part is the geographic region. So with the geographic region, it can really impact what a policymaker can do. So when you put it all together, you're looking at what actions, if any, should the policymaker take to respond to concerns about the societal issue in a particular geographic region. And when you fill in the blanks for all those different points, the societal problem, the policymaker, the geographic region, then you're ready to take the next step and actually conduct the analysis. And we'll talk about that in the following chapters.